Are you all here for your freedom? Are you? Are you steadfast on that? You want it and nothing else? Are you? Seriously? Are you willing to do whatever it takes for that? You sure? No buts, no ifs, no conditions? Come on, tell me the truth. There are still some buts, aren't there? Too much of anything is not too good, is it? Too much of Nibbana? You don't want too much of it, do you? You just want just a little bit of Nibbana. Huh? I don't want you to fool yourselves to death, ladies and gentlemen. You know, you can live your life in one of two ways. You can either live your life and achieve happiness, or you can live your life trying to find happiness. These two things are different. There can only be one path to happiness. If there's only one path to happiness, and you're all on different paths, then only one of you in this room can be right. If I asked you, put your hand up if you are, let's say, a teacher. There will be some of you who will put your hand up and say, I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher, I was a teacher. Then if I asked you, put your hand up if you're a doctor. Or if medicine was your profession, or something related to medicine, then there will be some of you who will put your hand up. Then if I ask you if you want to be a scientist, that could be a computer scientist, a physicist, a biologist, a chemist, whatever, something to do with science, some of you will put your hand up. If maths was your field of interest, I ask you that, and then there will be others who will put their hand up. Then there will be... Sorry, it's still there. Excuse me. Then there'll be those who will say, actually, Swami Nohansa, at a very young age, I realized that studying, education was not my thing. I was not very good at school anyway, so I chose sport. So that is how I wanted to make a future for myself. So then if I ask the sportsmen and women in this room to put their hand up, then there'll be some of you who'll put their hand up and go, I'm a sportsman. These are all different paths that you have chosen, with or without help from those who you lived with or without guidance. You have somehow chosen that path, those paths, and now you are on these paths. You are all on these paths because you all want to get to one destination. Don't you see the irony in that? If you're all after the same thing, how can you all be on so many different paths? Either you're all wrong, or everyone but one in this room is wrong. I have also chosen a path, as you can see. This is my path. This is your path. Our paths are very numerous. Either we're all wrong, that can also be possible. None of us have discovered the path to happiness. Or everyone in this room but one is wrong. And I'm not going to suggest that it is me right now. I will do later, but for now, I'm not going to suggest it's me. Let's assume it's one of you in the audience who's got it right. So one of you in this audience has chosen the right path, and everyone else, including myself, we all got it wrong. Okay? If you had chosen the right path, if you are on the right path, then the answers to these questions should be yes. Ready? Here's my question. Oh, here are my questions. You are never disappointed. Yes? You are never frustrated. You never get annoyed. Why am I saying these things? Because these are things that you don't want in your life. Agreed? Let's put a bunch of things you don't want in your life. Frustration? Anyone wants it? No. Disappointments? Anyone? Sorrow? Anyone? Volunteers? Sorrow? Sorrow going once, sorrow going twice. Fear? Anyone? Anyone want it? Anger? Anyone? My question is, you got to be free from anger because you don't want it. Or you must tell me, Swaminathan, no, I want anger. I define myself with anger. I am the angry one. We have the blessed one. Yeah? Then there's always the late one. Remember at school, there was always the late one? Yeah? Then there was always the punctual one. They arrive even before the teacher does. There's the punctual one. Then there's the angry one. You may have one at home like that. I'm not speaking about the four-legged one. I'm speaking about the two-legged one. There's the angry one at home. Some of you might have that at home. There's the angry one. He's the angry one. No one, or he or she is the angry one. No one messes with them because they're the angry one. Then there's always the scared one. They're always scared. Never willing to take a risk. Never willing to do anything because always scared. They're always scared. Always scared. Scared of the dark. Scared of heights. Scared of adventure. Scared of asking someone out. Scared of, I don't know, scared of scariness. They're scared of fear as well. They're just scared. They're just scared. There's them. Sorrow. Someone is always there. They're always sad. Always sad. I mean, even if Christmas came on Poya Day, these people, you can't cheer them up. They're always just so disappointed, so sorrowful, so disappointed, so frustrated all the time. You have these people in life. But I ask you the question, ladies and gentlemen, are these things you are all free of? Are you? So if I ask you, when was the last time you felt disappointed? You got to be able to say, Swaminathan, I don't remember. And there can't be anything wrong with your memory either. Yeah, if you got short-term memory loss, or memory loss of any sort, then you don't qualify to play this game with me. Because then you win. Yeah, then it's not an equal playing field. But if none of you have this problem, you don't have memory loss, you're all fine, then I ask you the question, put your hand up if there's anyone in this room who doesn't remember the last time they were disappointed. If you do, we are going to swap seats. Because you have also discovered the path that I'm on. These are things that you struggle with, but you're all on different paths in life. What does that tell you? Let's think like a scientist. I mean, put aside all the things society has taught you, the things you learned in books, the things you learned from your friends, right? Put all that to a side and just use your own intuition. Use your own intelligence, use your own common sense, and come to some conclusions about whether the path that you're on, for the purpose of happiness, what is happiness again? Freedom from all of these things. Is there a better, do you define happiness in any other way? What is your definition of happiness? There are two things you have to keep happy. One, you need to have a comfortable body, right? And for that you need four things. These four things are what we call the four requisites. They are required and therefore they're called the requisites. You need clothes to keep you warm or cool. You need food to sate your hunger. Food includes water if you're thirsty. You need medicines when you break, when you fall ill. And then you need shelter to keep you free from the elements, safe from the elements, safe from predators, and so all those sorts of things. These are the four things that you need physically. Okay? Let's just assume on our level playing field, we all have that equally. Right? This is how we're going to play the game. All of us, we have an equal amount of these 4 things. We have the food that we need, we have shelter, we have clothes, and we have medicines when we need it. Everyone gets that fair and square. Now, the physical problem is solved. So near on, you can't talk about the physical problem because we are making an assumption that we all have that equally. Next, we move on to the mental realm. In the mental realm, now we have diversity. Here's where we begin to have the differences. In the mental realm, you have these problems. So physically, your happiness is when you have the 4 requisites. Mentally, what is your happiness? Answer. Mentally, what is your happiness? Is it not a moment when you are free from all of this? Is that not what happiness is for you? We are just about to define happiness. Okay? That's the purpose of this conversation. Let's define happiness. Let's define happiness in a way it is universally acceptable. Let's not walk away today unclear of what happiness means and without a definition of happiness that applies across the board to everyone. How about that for today's conversation? Yeah? Let's walk away from this hall, from this room today, having agreed on one definition of happiness that is true for all of us. I would like to propose to you, ladies and gentlemen, that happiness is a moment in your mind when you have none of these. Not some of these, not one of these, but none of these. A moment in your mind when you have none of these is a moment of happiness. This is what I propose to you. Take a moment to think about whether you agree with that or not. A moment when you're not feeling anxious. A moment when you're not feeling angry. A moment when you have no frustration, but you also have no hope. Because hope puts expectation in there. Hope is hoping what might happen in the future. So therefore you are living in the future, but in the present moment. That's what hope is. As I say, hope keeps you alive. Let me give you one better than that. Hope keeps you in samsara. Remember this carrot stuck in front of the donkey? What is that? That's hope. That's a hopeful donkey. That keeps you in samsara. It keeps you alive in samsara. A moment when you are free from all of these. One moment, I'm just talking about one moment. If there's ever a chitta that arises in you that is free from all of these, that is a moment in which you are happy. Any objections to that? For once, I give everyone in this room an opportunity to speak because I know the answer. Any objections to that? A moment in your mind when you are free from all of these is a moment when you are happy. Agreed? Unanimously? Perfect. Are you? Are you? Right now.